Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya and I'm a trauma-informed coach, and I not only help you heal your past traumas but also create your future, the future that you so deeply deserve and can have. So today I want to talk about letting go. And not the most common letting go that everybody might think of, like, okay, the relationship is over, just forget about him, move on, there's lots of other fish in the sea. That's part of letting go, sure. But what I'm talking about is more in general. Things that, occurrences that might have happened, and we keep on rehashing them, talking about them over and over again. For example, oh, I went shopping and they increased the price of, I don't know, my favorite fruit, let's say raspberries. Can you believe the raspberries are now double the price? And so this is just an example of so many experiences that we don't let go. We just hang on to them and then tell as many people as we possibly can. And this is not exactly beneficial to us because it's reinforcing the story in our mind that our favorite things become double the expense, or maybe they are too expensive to have now. And what is that telling us? Are we not worth that extra money, or are the things that we really enjoy something that always becomes unobtainable? Because just have a look at where the roots go. Because everything in our current situation is inside of us, because our internal is reflected to us. It's like a mirror. Our external is a mirror of our internal. So what is our internal belief? Something that I really enjoy becomes more expensive, becomes unobtainable. So where does that belief come from? And so you can play a little game with yourself and say, okay, well, when is the first time that I felt like something I really enjoyed is not something I can have anymore, or is maybe not easy to get, or comes with consequences? We probably all have stories like that. And then what happened? Did you choose to get it anyway and actually do that for yourself and say, okay, I am worth more than these extra $1 or $2, euros, pounds, whatever currency you're working in. I'm worth more than that. My happiness is worth more than that. I get to choose to give that to myself. No matter what, I can do that. And is that something that you choose? Or do you choose something like, no, it's unfair that this is now more expensive. I'm going to protest by not buying it. That's fine. That is absolutely one of the options that is available to you. But is that in your best interest? Because that has got a little bit of resistance in it. That's like a fighting energy, an upset energy. It doesn't feel so good in your body if you really notice, and you feel upset about it. If you keep on holding on to this story, it shouldn't be that way. And now I'm going to rebel or protest against it in whatever way that might be. Maybe I complain to all my friends about how this is unacceptable, that these raspberries are so expensive now. Or I just protest by not buying it anymore, or however this protest and upset behavior might show up. But it would be so exciting and such a great opportunity to actually find out, okay, why am I so upset about these $1 or $2 increase in price? Does it remind me of something? Does it remind me of a different experience I might have had way back when? Because we gather our beliefs, our assumptions of how the world is when we are kids, when we are children growing up, when we are sponges just soaking in whatever is happening in our life. So if that is something you are interested in playing with, that could open up a lot of doors for you. And you could have insights like, oh yeah, I did have an experience in my childhood where I had to choose between my favorite thing or maybe my mom being disappointed, whatever situation that might have been. Maybe your mom was disappointed that she would have to go out of her way and it would take time out of her day and it would be an inconvenience for her for you to have this thing that you enjoy in your childhood. That happens a lot. That's a very common occurrence. Moms are busy. They got a lot going on. And if you decide, oh, this thing that I really enjoy, whatever it might be, maybe it's playing with your best friend and your friend lives really far away. Oh, but it comes at a price. It comes at a price of your mom being upset, disgruntled, annoyed, or just frustrated that she has to drive all the way out there for you. And kids can feel that. Children are so smart. They can sense, obviously, when their parents, caregivers are upset or if something is going on, because they are finely tuned and connected to their primary caregivers, normally their parents, because they depend on their parents for survival. So they have to be. They have to be aware of how their parents are at in their moods, in their in how they are. Because if you do something that upsets your parents, who are your primary caregivers, who you depend on for your survival, if something's going on with them and that might directly affect you, then you want to make sure that you make it okay. You make your parents feel okay, because then that will result that you are okay. Because if your parents are okay, that means, oh, everything's fine, and then I get to survive. That's how our survival instinct works when we are little kids. We depend on our parents, and so we need to make sure that everything is fine. And if we feel like, oh no, there's some stress, that signifies a type of danger to your system. Because if your parents are not okay, you feel the stress, that's really scary for a little child. They're like, oh no, if my parents are stressed, maybe that means something isn't okay, and that can put everything at risk. And, blah, blah, blah. It's little kids don't know, they can't explain things logically. They just feel these sensations, these energies, because they finely tune to how the parents are in their emotions. And what are emotions? Emotions are just energy in motion. So they finely tune to the energy of their parents. And if they notice something is not okay, that puts the kids in a stress state. And when they are in this hypervigilant stress state, then they think, okay, great, I need to fix this so that my parents can be okay, then I'm okay, then everything's okay, we get to survive. And getting back to letting go. So this is when you have the opportunity to actually release this deep negative experience that you had way back when. So you do that introspection. Notice yourself. If you're upset about these $1 or $2 that increased, find out why. You can do a journaling experience, like just write down, I feel upset, I feel frustrated, I feel angry about, and then write that out. And then ask yourself, then just write down, why do I feel this way? Which part of me feels this upset? And then have this dialogue with this aspect inside of you. And you will find out why. If you are open enough, if you are willing to hear, you will get the response. So just say to yourself, I am willing to hear, I am willing to hear, I am willing to hear. I am willing to know why I'm so upset about this situation that's shown up in my reality. It's an opportunity. Everything is happening for us all of the time. So even if something seems bad, it's an opportunity. And then do the introspection, do the journaling, see where it takes you. It's an exciting journey. And so you get to choose. It's a choice point. Either you can choose, right, I'm going to complain about it to my friends and protest, or I can look at why I'm so upset about this. Why has this sparked this reaction in me? And you can feel that sensation in your stomach. That bubbling, that boiling, upset and anger, frustration and annoyance. Yeah, it's there for a reason. Because that occurrence has touched a wound inside of you. It has triggered something. And if you'd like to know how to release that trigger, if you want to have a guide on how to tap into that and release that traumatic energy, that negative experience, that stuck energy that got frozen in your system from childhood or from whenever it might have been, you get to release that. You can. It's it's so great. And more people are doing this, and it's just changing lives, because as soon as you let go of that traumatic energy, that trigger, it's not going to affect you anymore. You heal that wound. And if the wound is healed, how can it trigger you? I mean, if you have a wound on your skin, it heals, and you poke at some healed skin, it doesn't matter. It's totally fine. It doesn't bother you. But if you have a wound here and you keep on poking at it, it hurts. It's not nice. And that's what happens. That's how we get triggered. So when you experience an overreaction, so I like the saying, if it's hysterical, it's historical. So if you notice an overreaction, hysterical response to something in your current environment, then it's probably historical. You've touched a wound. You've poked at a wound. Oops. But it's a great opportunity. Now that it's come up and you feel that upset, anger, whatever, then you can actually go into it and heal it. That's why it's triggered. That's why it's coming up, because it says, hey, here's an opportunity to heal this wound. So that's why I say everything is happening for you. All right. And if you'd like a guided meditation, a guided practice, how to move through that, how to heal these wounds, I have completed the course. It is completely affordable. I am so excited about it. And you can find that on my About page. I just feel so proud of that course. It's a one-stop shop to go if you want to heal your past triggers, past traumas, your traumatic imprints. Once you have practiced this experience, you can move through anything. You can move through anything. You can heal these traumatic experiences, and they don't trigger you anymore. It's just an incredible amount of freedom that you feel after that. And not just freedom, but inner peace. They go hand in hand. And you just feel better and better and better and lighter and lighter and lighter. And it feels so good. So I hope that this has been a useful video and has helped you in recognizing why things happen for you, and that you have a choice. You are at a choice point and you get to choose, hey, do I want to let this go? Do I want to heal it? Or am I going to complain about it and protest? I wish you a wonderful, amazing day. Remember, you deserve to live your life to the fullest. You are worthy, you are loved, and I love you. Bye-bye.